Aviation This Week is brought to you by Aviation, your aviation solutions provider. Your top story: first flight for the Embraer E175-E2. Then Air Canada's A350 makes its inaugural test flight, and Air France-KLM orders an additional 10 A350 XWBs. The Embraer E175-E2 made its inaugural flight on December 12th from the company's facility in São José dos Campos, Brazil. The flight lasted 2 hours and 18 minutes with the aircraft's fly-by-wire controls in normal mode. This marks the start of what will be a 24-month flight test campaign for the E175-E2, which is the third member of the E-Jet's E2 family. Embraer will use 3 aircraft for the E175-E2 certification campaign. The aircraft has one additional row of seats compared to the first-generation E175 and can be configured with 80 seats in 2 classes or up to 90 in a single class. Embraer explains the aircraft will save up to 16% in fuel and 25% in maintenance costs per seat compared to the E175. 75% of the E175-E2 systems are new when compared to the first-generation E175. This includes its Pratt & Whitney GTF ultra-high bypass ratio engines, a completely new wing, new landing gear, and the full fly-by-wire controls. The E175-E2 is expected to have maintenance intervals of 10,000 flight hours for basic checks and no calendar limit for typical E-Jet operations. The first A220-300 for Air Canada completed its inaugural test flight in early December from the Mirabel A220 final assembly line. The first of 45 such aircraft for Air Canada is scheduled to be delivered to the Montreal-based airline in the coming weeks. With its first A220 commercial flight planned for early 2020, Canada's flag carrier will become the first airline in Canada to operate the Canadian-designed and built A220. It will also become the first carrier in North America to fly the A220-300 variant. Air Canada is planning to use the A220 on domestic routes in Canada as well as to the United States. The airline previously announced it will open up new routes with the A220 from Montreal to Seattle and Toronto to San Jose. Approximately 100 A220s are currently flying with 6 operators on routes in Asia, America, Europe, and Africa. The Air France-KLM group has decided to place a firm order for 10 additional wide-body A350-900s, which will take its total order for this type to 38 aircraft. The A350 XWBs are intended to be operated by Air Canada. CEO Benjamin Smith described the A350-900 as a jewel of European expertise and a passenger favorite, calling it a core asset of the Air France fleet. The A350 XWB features a carbon fiber fuselage and wings, new Rolls-Royce engines, and the airspace cabin. By the end of November, the A350 XWB family had received 959 firm orders from 51 customers worldwide. Air France-KLM currently operates a fleet of 159 Airbus aircraft. Thanks again to our sponsor, Aviation, your aviation solutions provider.